I asked my viewers on YouTube, Twitter, and Discord to give me only a name, and also the name for a special move. I never said what I'd be doing with these, and I ended up turning my chat suggestions into Beyblades, so that I can have my own Beyblade anime. Basically, I put together a bunch of parts from Metal Fusion, my favorite Beyblade series, and each part will have its own stats and gimmicks. We also have a choosy wheel that picks what parts each Beyblade gets. Once that's all done, we come up with ideas for their special moves, grab 2 random bays, a location, and throw them into battle. The battles are conducted in a super smart and definitely working AI that I trained, which will tell us the outcomes. With all that explained, let's go. So, choosy wheel, who is the first person? The first one is Guest Deck. I don't actually know how to pronounce most of these, because some of these are like funny little usernames. So this is our first Beyblade, and while I'm assigning the stats, I want to let you all know that the more transparent parts on the chart means that it's only sometimes that high. In this case, it's because one part has a mode change, which raises certain stats. And while I'm explaining stats, red, blue, and yellow are attack, defense, and stamina respectively. The others are height, life after death, yes that's a real thing in real life Beyblade, and the Blader's Spirit. So, episode 1 here of Chat Beyblade is a simple start. The new guy, Earth Guest Deck, is roaming around from town to town, and came here because of word that there's a strong blader, Rock Bob. They decide to challenge one another in a local stadium to have a friendly match. Earth Guest Deck goes into battle in defense mode, their best bet. Also, by the way, what mode they go in depends on a dice roll. Earth Guest Deck has their special move, Embrace Sloth, able to slow down opposing bays on contact, while Rock Bob has its signature gun. I'll be telling you all that happened with some of my own interpretations because I refuse to let an AI carry my storytelling skills. So, Guest Deck immediately goes for Embrace Sloth, causing Bob a big decrease in stamina. Bob already starts to slip and wobble around, getting frustrated, unable to even get a hit on Guest Deck thus far. Knowing it's already come to that point, Bob pulls out its special move, Gun. The gun is fired, getting a direct hit, knocking Guest Deck off balance. The opening is clear. Rock Bob rushes in with a strong attack. Guest Deck takes the full force of the hit, sending it off of the arena, finishing the match. With that, Bob, the local champion, wins. However, I do have something else in store. So, odd, nothing happens. On even, we get a plot twist. It's a 2. It's even. With that, someone shows up. A new Bay. Clasher. This is Evil Clasher. An antagonist, and I do in fact have a wheel that determines if a Beyblade is a protagonist or antagonist. So, this Beyblade has one part that I thought of and threw into the mix, where it has a spring that activates at lower spin power. Clasher has pretty decent stats, and challenges both Bob and Guest Deck to a battle after showing up out of the blue. This brings us to episode 2, the 3-way battle. I'm too lazy to even do bad animations for all this, so yeah, future me will just put in whatever here. Evil Clasher lets it rip, fighting both Earth Guest Deck and Rock Bob. Immediately, Clasher lets out its special move, Concept Clasher. This allows it to invert the properties of certain things around it, and so, it distorts the space around the arena. Clasher attacks both of the other bays, as neither of them know how to fight in this strange space. In what seemed like a desperate play, Rock Bob fired off gun, but the bullet only grazes Evil Clasher. Still, Evil Clasher seems to be on the ropes after that attack, and suddenly, the space returns to normal. Clasher had released its ability. Earth Gestek and Rock Bob gain back the upper hand, retaliating with consecutive hits. The energy ring of Evil Clasher cracks as Bob and Gestek both unleash their special moves yet again, knocking out Evil Clasher. This battle seemed way too easy, and it's hard to tell if Clasher releasing its ability, as well as its loss, were both intentional or not. Clasher vanishes as mysteriously as it appeared, with its energy ring still fractured from the battle. That concludes Episode 2. Now we follow Rock Bob, traversing the desert, realizing that there are stronger bladers out there in the world. While journeying, Bob meets a new mysterious bay. Meteotree, a left-rotating bay. Not just that, but it's in possession of a special spin track that cranks up to unleash extra spin during the battle. It has great stats, and its special move, Leaf Cover, deflects and parries attacks. Let's see how this battle goes. The two bays clash in a friendly battle, the hot sun beating down on them. Bob faces difficulty right away, as Meteotree's shorter height lets it get in lower hits and avoid some of Bob's. To try and decide the match quickly, Rock Bob uses gun, but as the bullet makes contact, Tree's leaf cover manages to deflect it, avoiding Bob's most dangerous attack. Meteotree moves in immediately, making this a melee battle. They clash again and again, but miraculously, Rock Bob manages to defeat Tree. Bob so far has shown himself to be a big player in Chat Beyblade, managing to overcome even the worst of odds. Real quick, Bob's stats actually suck, but hey, the AI decides the outcomes. Call it plot armor, or the power of a gun, but this episode was nothing too special. Episode 4, however, we're following two brand new Beyblades, Duck and Glitter. Dark Duck here is an interesting new antagonist with the ability to jump around on the Quake performance tip. Its stats aren't anything too great, but it still has quite a bit of attack. On the other hand, we have a protagonist, Twisted Glitter. Glitter has incredibly high defenses, a strong blader spirit, and the same crank spin track as Tree. Dark Duck takes a stroll through the forest, not up to anything at the moment, when suddenly, Twisted Glitter strikes. Its fusion wheel catches the sunlight, activating its special move, Blinding Brilliance. Dark Duck becomes stunned for a moment, as Glitter strikes ferociously. After being knocked back, Duck jumps into the air and readies its own move, Long Pecking. It lands right on top of Glitter, attempting to stab into it with its performance tip. The hit lands dead on, and as Dark Duck looks to see the damage, nothing. Twisted Glitter is not phased at all. Glitter's strategy is already put into motion as it charges at Duck yet again. Twisted Glitter's crank mechanism releases as its spin power greatly increases. The attack is like lightning as Glitter dashes right through Duck. Dark Duck is broken, shattering into pieces as Twisted Glitter revels in the destruction. Glitter isn't your ordinary protagonist. No. Glitter is the anti-hero of this story. A killer of evil bays. Episode 5 is simple though. Just another introductory episode. Twisted Glitter continues to go about its business, being confronted by another bay, Ray Mappy. Glitter's reputation has started to get a bit big, and does not align with Mappy's sense of justice. So, they decide to have a stadium battle. Once the battle starts, Glitter holds a defensive position, knowing that it's the most reliable way to battle. Mappy immediately rushes in, being outclassed by Glitter in every sense. So, he uses a special move right away. Police Officer Mouse from an arcade game made in 1983 by Namco. Its staggeringly tall height stands like a tower next to Glitter as it comes crashing down. Glitter is nearly caught off guard, but uses Blinding Brilliance to blind Mappy. Once the opportunity opens, Twisted Glitter's crank spin track revs up as it smashes into Ray Mappy, sending it out of the stadium. Mappy is shocked by how decisive the outcome of the battle was, but reluctantly accepts, letting Glitter do as it pleases, closing out Episode 5. The next episode, however, the stakes are raised. 4 Beyblades stare each other off. Evil Clasher, along with 2 underlings, Counter Ployolp, and Rock Magnet. Ployolp has a crank spin track like Tree and Glitter, and Magnet has the same Quake performance tip as the late Dark Duck. Rock Magnet is nothing too special, but Counter Ployolp's stats rival all of the greatest bays. All 3 of these villains face off against the one and only Twisted Glitter, the most bloodthirsty protagonist of all. The battle breaks out, a 3-on-1. As a flash of lightning lights up the sky, Glitter unleashes Blinding Brilliance to get an opening. The first target is Counter Ployolp, as Glitter charges in an attempt to strike it down. Counter Ployolp stands firm, ready for this exact moment, as it vanishes, reappearing elsewhere. This is Ployolp's special move, Palindrome. It rewinded itself to where it was just 5 seconds ago, but Glitter acts fast. Just as Ployolp reappears, Glitter moves to attack again, getting a hit in this time. Counter Ployolp is knocked back, but not down yet, as blood starts to trickle down its face. Rock Magnet makes its move, using its own special move, Magnetic Force. It pulls Glitter towards it in an attempt to hurl it off the cliffside. Glitter revs up its spin track, using the extra spin power to resist the magnetic pull. Another Blinding Brilliance is used to blind Magnet before hitting it out of the way. Glitter's eyes are locked on Evil Clasher now, while Ployolp is still recovering. Concept Clasher activates in an attempt to deter Twisted Glitter, but Glitter unleashes the remainder of its cranked up spin track to push on. Clasher wasn't prepared for this. In the blink of an eye, Clasher shatters. Glitter's attack was successful, but Clasher has not given up, as the remains keep spinning, as it puts its whole spirit into this one fight. Clasher continues the battle, not relenting, as Glitter's stamina starts to dwindle. Its defense holds up against Clasher's onslaught, as Glitter uses Blinding Brilliance again to catch it off guard. Evil Clasher is stunned as Glitter performs the last attack, destroying Evil Clasher in its entirety. Rock Magnet flees with his life, but Ployolp takes a stand. Glitter tries to use Blinding Brilliance, but somehow it backfires. This was Ployolp's doing. Counter Ployolp turned the flash of light into darkness surrounding Glitter, with none other than Concept Clasher. The most powerful of Evil Clasher's underlings had actually managed to learn its special move, and is now using it to get the upper hand. Ployolp strikes with a fury in an unrelenting attempt to push Glitter off of the cliff. In this moment, Glitter is all out of options, as right now, it is do or die. Glitter digs down, reaching into the very depths of its blader spirit to gather the energy for another burst of its spin track. The two collide in a more explosive clash than before. The force of this battle causes fissures in the earth. Twisted Glitter uses Blinding Brilliance out of nowhere in order to win over some small advantage. Counterployalp is shocked by this, but quickly snaps to its senses, and its own spin track starts to rev up to push back against it. The cliff starts crumbling underneath them as the fissures grow from the sheer amount of force being put into this brawl. Eventually, the ground opens up wide enough as if it were swallowing up the two bladers whole. They start falling into the darkness below as they keep brawling. After a climactic collision, both bladers hit the ground as the battlefield finally sees a moment of silence. They both lay there, at the bottom of the abyss, not moving, with no one knowing if the battle can continue or not at this point. And that is episode 6, the mid-season finale. I hope you all enjoyed this, because it was a lot of fun to do. Probably actually one of my favorite streams ever. I already actually streamed the finale for this too, but it's going to take a while to get another video up for that. You can watch the unedited stream on my second channel. There will be an iCard in the top right for you to see it. And if another content creator wants to do this for themselves, there will be a link in the description for all the resources that I created doing this. And yeah, with that all said and done, thank you to everybody for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!